Hi, everybody.
I love the beat. The beat is
Hey.
nice.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Thank the audio library from YouTube. Hello, Quincy,
Hi,
who is
Quincy.
coming up the side here.
Aw, what cute.
Quincy seems to want to have something to say lately. He seems to be showing up for all of the segments.
Aw.
So, welcome, friends, to another fine Wednesday evening. This is my friend Valerie from Illumination Portal. I will stick her link into the chat box. If you are not already familiar with Valerie's channel, please do consider showing her some love by checking out her channel, subscribing. She is a very bright light in the community.
Thank
She's my friend. She's a lovely energy, and she is very gifted in so many different facets. And tonight she is here to help us break down what we need to know about what's happening in the month of May energetically, because
you.
it is a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
So,
It is.
Valerie, welcome, my friend. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, Kelly.
Of
I
course.
am. I'm always excited to come and visit with you. I always have so much fun, and the energies are. Whew, well, we all know what the last 3 years have been like. Let's start in the past. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this past equinox really opened the door for our new lives to start, right? And but it's still like we're trudging in the mud
Mm-hmm.
because we're in eclipse season. We had an Aries eclipse on April 20th, all right, at 29 degrees. Okay, I'm only going to bring up degrees 29 and 0 because they're critical degrees. They're something is being birthed, like something in our personal individual lives and in the world. And we can see the world's a little crazy, a lot crazy.
Just
And
a wee.
our lives, yeah, our lives are like, what am I doing here? What am I doing anymore? At least that's how I've been feeling. What am I doing and why am I doing it? And these energies are culminating up until this Friday, which is the 5th. Okay, so we're in May 5th, 5 5. 2023 5 5 is always well, there's always portals opening, there's always more energy coming through,
Yeah,
and this is a big one
yeah,
because it also has the Scorpio lunar eclipse.
yeah.
Now,
Val, sorry. Can you? Is there a way that you can like sort of turn your lights like down so they're not blinking? Can they just like
are they
someone in the chat is asking?
does that help at all? Let me
They're
see.
sort of triggered into seizures by the strobe lights.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I never even thought of that. Let's see what we got here. I can probably shut them off. Well, maybe not. Oh, Lord. Sorry, guys. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
All right. So, where was so
Thank you,
this
Valerie.
you're welcome. So this eclipse coming up on Friday is the third Scorpio eclipse in like an 18-month period. That has been bringing up everything in the world. Because we can see the world really close. It's just I don't I don't even know. I look at the news and I'm like, oh my God, it's just a constant barrage of, well, it's revealing things. It's revealing the dark underbelly,
Yeah,
which was what Scorpio does.
yeah,
Scorpio brings up the into the molecules of everything.
yeah.
It's going to, you'll get sick, you'll release because anytime, and I'm not trying to make light of anyone feeling bad or being sick, but when you are, this is a release. These are release points. Um, we'll hear all these catastrophes, we'll see stuff. It has to come out so it can be looked at, acknowledged, and then released. And that goes, it's the same for us as individuals.
Yeah.
Go-
You know, it reminds me. Welcome to my mind, friends. And I apologize in advance for this analogy, but I love analogies. It reminds me very much of one of those pimples that you get that is, sort of like the sort of embedded ones, the ones where you wake up one day and you're like, oh my God, like my face hurts or my cheek hurts, like,
Yeah.
and you're feeling and you're like, there's nothing
Yeah.
there. And then it keeps getting bigger and you think it's like this big on your face, even though it's like the size of a dot, you know what I mean? And then
Right.
you have to wait for it and you keep squeezing it and pinching it and poking at it. And it's like, and when it releases, you're like,
I feel so much better.
instant
Yeah.
relief.
And that's an excellent analogy. That's what's been going on. I mean, really,
Yeah.
all this stuff in our world, all these systems that are not working for we, the people, they're not life affirming. They
Yeah.
have to come up to be exposed, to be released and restructured. Okay, now, it just doesn't mean Pluto's going to come in and wipe it all out and we're going to be suffering or standing there with no backup. There's so many brilliant people alive right now that are coming in with good ideas and different ways of bringing humanity forward.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen in a day, but it is going to. I'm going to go back into Pluto on this one because Pluto went into Aquarius March 23rd. The last time he was there was 248 years ago. And
Wow.
that was when we had the French Revolution, the American Revolution. There's a lot of these energies are in there. Okay, we got that because Pluto in Aquarius wants humanity, equanimity for all. Everybody is cared for. Pluto just left Capricorn. He was there for 18 years. That kind of, to give you an idea, that's the 1%, the wealthy, the big corporations, and they've been just winning for 18 years.
Right.
And while they're winning, we're suffering. Okay, so when Pluto changes signs into Aquarius, it's like, no, that's not happening. But now, even though Pluto's going to be in Aquarius for 22 years, he's only at 0 degree. He's from March 23rd to now. On the 1st of May, he stopped because he's going to go retrograde and go back into Capricorn. Now, every time he goes back and forth, he goes back into Capricorn to pull out what kind of shenanigans were going on in the world that we didn't know about.
Aquarius is going to be busy.
Yeah. And then Pluto's like,
I hope Aquarius is getting some rest because you're going to be busy.
well, it's Pluto because Pluto demands integrity. Everybody wants to be afraid of him, but if you're in integrity and you're a heart-centered, soul-centered person, you're okay. Now, does it mean that the some things don't bounce off of us because a lot of these systems and structures we live under, we've been had to live under them.
Yeah.
We've been subjected to a lot of stuff in the last 3 years alone. I mean, most countries profited off a pandemic. You can't even have words for that. Yeah, you don't even have words for stuff like that. So Pluto in Aquarius is going to change that. But first, right now, he's at 0 degrees, and I'm sorry I'm bringing in the numbers, but it's kind of important because he's 0 degrees 41 minutes, not even half a degree. It's taken him from March 23rd till the 1st of May to get there. Now, he's going to go backwards, but he won't even get past that 41 minutes until June 11th. So this is long and drawn out, but it's long and drawn out for a reason because there's so much hidden in the underbelly.
You're definitely talking about baby steps and like a bread trail. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I bring him up because Pluto rules Scorpio. And this is that third Scorpio eclipse we're having on Friday. And on top of all of that, Pluto at that 0 degrees is squaring our south node and our north node. Now, those are where we're going. North node is where humanity's headed. South node is where humanity's been and what's being left behind. Well, guess who's on the south node? Scorpio. So
Look,
it's pulling things out from every corner, under every.
look, I pulled two cards. I love to do this when people are talking because I want to see what spirit has to say about it, and two, it makes me feel like I'm involved.
You are.
Well, then I have something to add to the conversation. And we've got the frog spirit, which is renewal.
Love it.
Well, that's
Yes.
exactly what Valerie is telling us is going to be the outcome of
Yes.
of all of this intense energy. And what's interesting is how could we cope with this energy? Because that's really what we want to know, right? How do
Yes.
we navigate this energy? We've got the lovely green. I mean, first of all,
Beautiful.
look out the window, go outside, put yourself in nature or
Mm.
surround yourself with nature. Heck,
Mm.
stick a nature sort of scenery video on if you can't get out there. Because nature literally, and this is a proven statistic coming from someone with anxiety. I know these stats, which is crazy, but you can literally reduce your stress / anxiety by up to 50% spending 90 minutes outside.
Yeah. And we need that sunlight too. Even if the sun's not shining bright, the sun's
Exactly.
breaking through.
Right. And
Yeah.
this is saying green revitalizes your nervous system, which is the clarity that comes,
Yeah.
in my mind, the clarity that comes from the quiet, the solitude, the peacefulness, the tranquility that nature sort of affords us or provides for us, however, which way you want to say it, right?
Yeah. And it's also showing us the greenery, the growth. Right?
Yes.
We are getting there. It's just a little excuse me, a little longer.
Yeah.
And I don't, the whole time these things have been going on, we've been living, we've been creating, we've been uh, doing our lives, But this energy is calling us to really look in our hearts and and follow that.
This is more
Follow
about
that
like
guidance.
this is more about us. This new energy is more about us than it is about like our own selves, as opposed to us as in everyone that is around you. Am I correct in that in saying
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
This
This is
is more
very
about,
personal. Yeah,
yeah, like what actually makes you happy. And I don't like even asking that question because that's a trigger for me, but that goes back to a therapy session that nobody needs to know about.
I'm
The point
sorry.
that
Well, but these are questions we have to ask ourselves.
Well,
And
the reason why I say that is because if when I first was diagnosed with anxiety, the first therapist that I saw said to me, "What makes you happy?" And everything that I thought made me happy, she told me that was wrong because I was associating my mom with all of that stuff, and I had to find something that was my own. And I spent the next 5 years trying to figure it out, and I couldn't. And it was very, 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 very difficult to navigate.
it is.
To then now add another thing to my list of things that would trigger me, I couldn't figure out at 40 some odd years of age what even made me happy. It's like I lost my identity like that. And so that's why I say it can be triggering if you take it to the negative, like how come I can't figure out what makes me happy? So when I say what makes you happy, that's not where I was going. I mean, it's about expressing yourself, inviting joy into your life, counting your blessings, and just really feeling that contentment
Yes.
that we haven't really felt in a long time. I think
Yeah.
that's what this moment is about, right?
Yes. And that's another perfect way of putting it. And not to minimize what you went through, but let me say, everybody in their 40s, late 40s, right about the time we're going to have a Chiron return, which Chiron is our deepest wound. We start asking they used to call it, the midlife crisis, right?
Right.
And Chiron is asking us, or is helping us heal whatever that deepest wound is, which is either usually from something in this lifetime, but a lot of times something brought from past
Yes,
lifetimes
that's right.
that has got you still wondering what in the heck's going on, right? So, but we always come to that question: well, am I happy? What makes me happy? And
Exactly.
I was stuck just like you were, and until I got into gratitude in the moment and just looked at everything as beautiful in that moment.
Yeah, it took me
That
years to
took
get
a
there.
long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it took me
it took a
years
long
to
time.
get there and to arrive at that destination. But the reason why I say that is because, you know, I always, no matter what I'm doing here on this channel, I always have to come from that place because that's the most, I mean, that's the voice in the back of my head
Sure.
always, right? That's
Yeah.
the reason I started this channel. It's
Right.
so if anyone else is in that same kind of headspace, I don't want anyone to think when you're sitting here listening to this, whether you're participating now in the chat or you hear it later on, oh well, sure, I'll just figure out whatever makes me happy and then everything's going to be fine. It's not quite like, it's not that broad. It's not you know, it's,
Yeah.
this is a little more in depth. This is,
Yeah.
it feels very baby step to me, right? It
It is.
feels very, very tiny, very, but each step is a step and we
Yeah.
can't discount each step, nor
Yeah.
nor should you uh sort of push a baby step aside because you're waiting for, like, you know, you've crossed over the finish line. Every step is leading you in to that goal, right? And it's about enjoying the journey. And if you can feel a sense of contentment, at least for me
Yeah.
personally, if I can feel a sense of contentment, I feel like I can keep going, right?
Exactly.
Because I'm not antsy, I'm not stressed, I'm not overwhelmed by anything, I'm not carrying a weight on my shoulders because I feel that level of contentment. So I like to replace the word happy with contentment.
I was just
Contentment,
going to say excellent, excellent choice of words because happiness is subjective. But are you?
yes, it is.
What makes you content? Are you content? And a lot of what we've gone through, and I'm just going to go back to the last 3 years. Um, these energies have been asking us, what is it? What is it inside of you that wants you to be authentically you?
Yeah,
And where does your heart want to take you, and are you listening to that? Because that's kind of why it's going so slow. It's not something we can all just say, hey, yeah, I'm right there, I'm on board, you know. So
that's a good point, Kristen. Kristen says happiness is fleeting.
yeah.
And I think, to Kristen's point and to what you were just saying, Valerie, I mean, this is my personal experience, and I don't know if other people will agree or not. We spend so much time focused on when something negative happens to us, or a negative situation that we're sort of embroiled in, that
Hmm.
oftentimes the simple blessings, the simple pleasures, a meal with family, sitting on the couch and the cat jumps up on your lap, and you know, and the
Hmm.
cat like spinning the circles and gets all warm and cozy
Hmm.
and
Well,
purring,
yeah.
and your pet, like, we forget how much joy that little moment brought to us, right? We forget those things. We don't focus on those things. You know, getting in the kitchen and baking a cake with with the grandkids or your nieces and nephews, or, you know, your kids. You know, we forget those simple things,
Yeah.
and we all have them. I mean, open yesterday.
Yep.
Was it yesterday or the day before that? We have this old crotchety lilac tree that was planted at the side of the house before we moved in, and this thing is on its last leg. I mean, honestly, friends, it's like a twig with a bunch of leaves on it. I don't know how I don't know how it survives. Anyway, there it
Determination.
is, and it's starting to fill in, right?
Mhm.
So in the wintertime, when you look out that window, there's nothing there. In the summertime, because the tree is starting to fill in, now the view is blocked, and the cats sit on the back of the couch. My husband's made like a windowsill so they can sit in it, but of course the window's only this wide, so 3 little bums is a bit much, right? So one of them sits sideways and the other two just pretend and try to look over. So there we are, and I hear this like really loud chirping noise, and I'm like, where is that coming from? Well, friends, there is a little bird, just a little tiny little bird, and he is not in the tree. He is literally trying to come in at the house, and he is like beak to the screen, right? Like,
Oh,
beep, beep. And the cats are like, what is happening? Like the cats were like go through the screen. But I mean, what a beautiful thing. I'm so glad that I was sitting there to be able to see that. And that's one of those things where I could have went, oh wow, that was great and moved on.
mm-hmm.
But I didn't. I kept talking about it and I kept saying to the cat,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, maybe we should do this every morning and see if the birdies will come and visit. Right? Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a thing about it because it was really neat.
It's beautiful when you go out in nature and you see just nature in action, and I just stand there and just let it
Yeah.
absorb it,
Yeah.
because that's what the contentment is. It's
Yes.
those every little moment, right?
We have lovely comments being shared. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I didn't even say hello to everybody. I just was like, let's go. No. Hershey says, I absolutely can relate. I woke up at 4 with a clock in my head ticking away. I struggled with finding my true self for 5 years after, or woke up at 40. I started truly listening a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for sharing that,
Yeah.
Hershey.
And that's what's happening. It's our higher self, our angels, our guides, our guardians, our
Yep.
team, because we each have a team
Yep.
we're connected to, and the veils have been thinning, right? And thinning. So we're hearing more, we're receiving more information. We're when you just get those knowings, and
Yes.
you know that you go on, this is
Yep.
this would really be something fun for me to do,
Yes.
or research, or
Yeah.
it could be anything,
Absolutely.
Go follow
Says,
those.
look at what just popped. I mean, it flew out. Insight from the third eye chakra.
Yes.
We have understanding, awakening, awareness, and self-evaluation. Believe that's just what you said. We could do this all day. I love this.
Yes, I love it. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Because that's exactly what's happening.
Exactly. And I think it's awesome. Linda says, I strive for peace and calm every day. Some days are better than others, so I relish the good days. And I think that was my point, Linda, that, we are so busy, right? We are so busy running here, running there, doing things, dodging all these, got our hands in 98 cookie jars. That we oftentimes don't celebrate the small things. And we really, we deserve to celebrate the small things.
Yes.
For the heck not, because if we wait for the big things, gosh, we could be waiting a bit,
Yeah.
Sue
And like
says,
you said,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sue says, time goes so fast. I'm on the wonderful half of my life and wonder what happened. Nothing achieved and time's ticking away. The change is I want to do things I enjoy now.
Yeah.
And so you should.
Yes. I agree.
And so you should. Sorry, go ahead, Valerie.
Well, that's what it's uncovering. It's coming out of us. We were never really taught that, to enjoy life, to talk to our guides and angels. That's becoming more prevalent now. We know that we're not alone. We know it. And we're listening to those little nudges and those feelings in our hearts. And we're like, okay, I'm going to try this. Okay, maybe you want to do ballroom dancing. I'm just bringing stuff up.
Yeah.
Anything. It doesn't matter. Make the phone call. Try it. It doesn't mean you have to make money at it. That's the big thing. Everybody thinks, oh, I can't do anything if I'm not making money at it. It's not about that. It's about
I think that has that's been enforced by society, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right. And because we all have, responsibilities. Can I just share that this morning? And I shared this in my daily reading. It was the most random thing. So I love to share these little tidbits as my journey, progresses, because it never ceases to amaze me. And I'm like a kid at Christmas. I'm just like, I'm so excited every time something really, really neat spiritually happens to me that I want to share it. So here I am this morning. Now, in all fairness, friends, if I look a little tired, you could say that I am. So I fell asleep last night after my late dinner, and I woke up at 1:30 in the morning. And I was awake till like 7:30 this morning. And when my husband woke up and isn't feeling good because he has diverticulitis and decided to take the day off. So then I was like one eye open, sleeping, half awake, watching the animals while he tried to go back to bed, thinking that he was going to get up in a couple of hours and go to work, which he did not. So then when he did not, then I was like, okay, I can't function. I need some sleep. So while I'm sitting here doing my daily reading, literally at 3:33 this morning, I'm getting all my cards out, and I got, how I color coordinate everything, and I got all the cards out, and I was ready, and all, like, in my head, out of nowhere, the song Kiss an Angel Good Morning by Charlie Pride, literally that line, Kiss an Angel Good Morning. I'm like, what? I'm like, that was weird. I mean, because that's not, I mean, I know the song, but it's not a song that would come to me like that. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to think about that for a minute. So what does that mean? What's a lesson that I can learn from that message? Well, what a beautiful way to wake up and start your day by kissing an angel good morning. That's like literally seeing, your mom or your animals or your husband or your kids. It's like, it's beautiful. The sun is shining, the sky is blue. You know what I mean? It's like you're on vacation in some exotic location. I mean, it's beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, kiss an angel good morning. Like, absolutely. So I put my cards away and got out new cards and thought, what a great way to start the day. And I've had that tune in my head all day. I can't get it out of my head. It's great.
Oh, that's beautiful. But it's beautiful. And really, opening your eyes in the morning and closing your eyes at night are the two best times to connect.
Yes.
Connect. Thank you to whoever your angels, guides, and your guardians, Mother, Father, God, to Mother Earth. Just say thank you, and your whole day will change. Yes, success and happiness are coming. I love it.
Well,
I love it.
Linda,
I love how it just,
Linda says, Kelly, you need to look at the lyrics to see if there's more to the message.
right.
Linda, can we talk? Just
I
between you and me. I mean, seriously, friends, don't anyone look up the words to that song.
Oh,
It's a little salty.
it's one of those.
It's a little salty. Yeah, it's like kiss an angel good morning. Tell her how much you're gonna miss her when you're gone, and when you get back home, you're gonna love her like the devil or something like that. And I was like, oh.
I'll pass.
But anyway, I'm like, that's that. We'll just stick with the kiss an angel good morning.
Yeah, because it's the line you heard, right? There was the reason that line was dropped in.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening to us. This is another beautiful thing about all these energies. And all Pluto is Scorpio, very psychic.
Yeah.
All signs are. But we really are like fine tuning that within us and what connects to us, right? So when Pluto is in Scorpio is in the mix, which they're going to be here for quite a little while especially the Pluto on the nodes. But we've been getting these messages. We've been getting downloads. We've been getting songs in our head. We've been getting direction. It's just a matter of listening to it and go look the words up or go do it or go outside into the yard. It is so simple, but it's foreign to us because we're not used to, this moment can be my moment and I can make it any moment I want. That's unusual, especially these last few years. And they want to convince us out there that the sky's falling. A lot of things are falling, but it's things that are no longer in favor of humanity. Never were. They really never were. So
it's so important that you mention that, Val, because we really have to, you have to keep the logical side of your brain working at all times, right? Yeah. And this is no slight against a spiritual path or any path, but you have to keep your logical brain working at all times, right? Mm-hmm. Do you not think, as a human being, that if the world was going to come to an end, that you would have an inclination, especially if you are knowing, especially if you are a light worker, especially if you are connected to spirit, that you would have some sort of sense, I would think. And so I don't even entertain those thoughts. Today is Wednesday. It's going to be Wednesday until it's Thursday. And I'm just going to do Wednesday. I'm going to worry about Thursday when I wake up.
Right.
If I wake up, then great. If I don't, well, I had a good Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
because if I, with my anxiety, if I allow myself to get on that wheel,
Yeah.
I
It's
I I I
going out.
will be like lined up outside the gates. Which bus do I get on? How far is it going to take me? What, you know what I mean? Like I would go with that, and I
Mhm.
can't do that to myself. It brings too much negativity.
Yeah. And we can feel that, right? When we're okay, I got a thought and it's trying to take me down. It's
Yes.
trying to lower my energy and take me out of this
Yeah.
neutral, contented point I'm at. And I always just try to go for it, like Kelly said, the contentment. Even if I get that thought, I'll look at it, I'll say, okay, I see you, I feel you,
Yeah.
I release you now. And I don't care what it is, pick up a crystal, pick up your pet, anything, pick a card. There's so many things that can take us out of those moments like that. And we got to
You
just train
can
ourselves.
come back anytime because I love that you and I do this together. I mean, it's
With,
not that it doesn't work with anybody else, but it's working really well with you tonight. Look at the card that I just pulled when we were talking about that.
okay.
We've got wishful thinking.
Oh, nice.
Okay. The message says you are learning how to manifest the life that you desire.
Thank you. That's my whole message today. Oh, wow. That just summed everything up, Kelly. That is so freaking
And good night.
awesome.
No, no, I'm kidding.
We're done.
No,
And
but I mean, that's really the thing. We understand that we have the ability and the power to make what we want to come true, or make how we want to feel be our reality, right? We know exactly how to do that. We're all adults, we're all grown, we have, we're immersed in an understanding that is not necessarily commonplace. I will say that, right?
Mhm.
If you don't want that out in the universe, you know how to do it. When you have a situation such as myself, where someone's dealing with anxiety, panic disorder, or a mental health disorder, it is a struggle for control. The
Mhm.
fear has a hold of you, and you have to tell that fear, excuse me, not today, vanish. And now we're gonna because I have control over that fear, right? And how you do that is by doing these little exercises of practicing celebrating the contentment and allowing yourself to really feel that in that moment. Celebrate the bejeebers out of it. Like if you got up and you made yourself something to eat and you left the house, you know, turn the music on in the car and crank it and sing your brains out and celebrate. Yeah, look at me. Woohoo, I look good. Put on my fancy bra that no one can see. You know what I mean? Like you've got to do those things for yourself because
Yeah,
listen, first of all, who else is doing it for you?
right.
I don't care how many people are in your life. No one is going to celebrate you like you can,
That's
right?
right.
Because you know exactly when you need it. Number one. Number two, why not? You deserve it. And I think that's the part that we, especially women, have the biggest problem with. We don't think we're deserving, and we always put ourselves last. So even if we thought we were deserving, you know what? On Friday, oh my gosh, I'm going to come home and I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to have a bubble bath, whatever. Friday comes and you're like, oh my God, I just want to curl into a ball and go to sleep because I'm exhausted. So because we put ourselves last, anything that we want sort of falls down the scale of priorities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's in the last, but and then you're like, I'll do it tomorrow.
Mm.
And sometimes the thought, the anticipation of doing something the next day is good enough to carry you over for a couple of days. But at some point, you must appreciate yourself. No different than you look after your car, no different than you look after your home, no different than you look after your pets or your
Mhm.
children, right? You put on a hat and scarf and mitts if you go out in the cold. You get your car oil change done and tires tuned and rotated and all, because you're trying to protect it, you're trying to prolong it, you're trying to appreciate it for the things that it does for you. So do that for yourself.
Yes. Wow, that's right on, hitting the nail on the head. Seriously, 'cause this is what this energy has been trying to get us to do. Release all that stuff that holds back you doing, feeling joy.
Yeah.
If you're not used to feeling joy and you feel, a lot of times we don't even, we want to make the plan and go get a massage or whatever, but you're there and you're like, oh, I really shouldn't be wasting my time or money right now. I shouldn't have did this. That's just killing your moment of joy. We have to be able to understand that we don't have to produce something in every minute of the day like we were taught. It's like, if you're not producing, you're
Yeah.
not worthy. And
Exactly.
you're not worthy. And that's
100%.
and how does that play over and over? And it's very hard to break. I'm not saying it's easy, but
Yeah.
these energies are assisting us. They're helping them get out of there. Go in tonight and hug your inner child. Ask your inner child what would bring you joy, because that's your heart you're talking to.
You want to see my inner child? She's
Yeah.
right. I mean, I think most of you have seen her. She's right here on the wall. Now, I ask you, friends, what does that inner child want to know?
Aww.
I mean, come on.
She has everything she needs right there.
Kiss an angel, good morning. Do you want to know something? Oh my God, Valerie.
Your mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kiss an angel, good morning. Do you know what? Oh my gosh, that I just literally, boom. My mom used to sing "You Are My Special Angel" to me every day before I was born.
Aww. I knew it was your mom when you said it. I thought you already knew.
No, I didn't, but I do now.
Oh,
Kiss an angel, good morning.
Oh, Mom.
Aw,
And
bless her
Mother's Day
heart.
is coming up in a week.
It is.
Next,
It is
next
coming up
week.
in a week.
That's gonna be really good energy for Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. It's gonna start like on Thursday, so it's gonna be bumpy. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna come and go and come and go. You're gonna get these feelings of, I don't feel good, or I feel yucky. I feel depressed. It's got to
Yeah.
come out. And
Yeah.
and if you take the advice Kelly was given, by going outside, do something for that moment. Get into that moment and make it yours. I'm telling, that one moment, it'll just keep you going. It's not even like you will have to continually, okay, the next moment I'm looking for it. If you're doing it in every moment, there's never a lack of moments.
Exactly. I'm going to, I just, to that point that you just made, I want to say to everyone, and not because I did it, but if you've never seen it done before by someone who did not know what they were doing, when I first started my channel, very quickly to get there, one of the things that I was stuck on was I did not know how to forgive. I understand what the word means, but I didn't know how I could actually do that. And I was kind enough to get some information from the wonderful Scott Spiritual Essence. And he was on with Allie from Heart and Soul Connected. And they were kind enough to take my question, and they spent a good amount of time talking to me while I was in the chat. And then I was on with Allie. I said, that's what I'm going to do. She said, what? I said, I'm going to start a channel, and one of the first things I'm going to do is a release ceremony, because that was part of the advice. And so I filmed my release ceremony in November in Canada.
I remember.
In the cold, crying my eyes out. But it was so powerful. And I can honestly tell you, there are days, friends, when I start like making a meal, for example, and I can't continue because I get all shaky and I lose my balance and I need to sit down. I get overwhelmed so quickly. That particular evening, I sat there, I filmed that, and that was me putting it all out there, right? One of the first times that I ever put it all out there. And I was able to turn that live off, walk in the kitchen, and make a full, complete steak dinner for myself and my husband. And in the realization that I was in the kitchen doing that, at some point during that time, I was like, wow, that's exceptionally powerful. Like I knew it, you know what I mean? And I felt the release
Yeah.
instantly. So I'm not trying to like promote myself, literally trying
No.
to promote the exercise. If you don't know how you could go about releasing, whether it's something that you're carrying or just releasing the baggage or the negative energy from yourself, or like the old energy, the stale energy, you could watch that. It's called Forgiveness Ceremony, and I will try to find a link and maybe stick it underneath this video. But it's pretty simple exercise, but it can be done, and honestly, it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
To feel that.
It's amazing that you said that, because that was my next thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Was the releasing ceremony. Yeah. I mean, I can't believe how we're just like boom, boom,
That's
boom.
awesome. Like when you enable yourself to do that, the relief that you feel from that weight being gone, okay. If you guys ever go back and watch some of my videos at the beginning, people say to me often that they've seen the transformation. I look at this every day and I don't see it. You know what I mean? Because I'm used to this face, right? But you know what I do notice? My shoulders are not up by my ears anymore. I'm not the turtle that I once was, because I was so stressed that I would hold myself tight. And I'm not a turtle. My head is out of my shell. And I noticed that. Like visually, I'm like, wow, look at that. That's what it does for you.
So, guess what's the best release ceremony we can do this week is on that Scorpio lunar eclipse. The time is from 11:33 a.m. Eastern to 3:31. So if you can put it in between there, what I would suggest is, and this is the easiest releasing ceremony I do because I don't like to do a lot of details. I love candles and crystals, but write it out. Write, I'm worthy. I'm worthy. I'm valuable. Whatever your deep wounds are, whatever that trauma is, whatever that, just that, I don't know what it is, but it's always there. Why can't I get rid of it? Put a name to it, write it on the paper, and during that time period, burn it.
Yeah.
Burn it and release it. Let it go. Love it. Send it back out in love and peace and harmony. But that's it. We're finished here. Now, it's not always going to just boom, it's over. But look, it takes those big weight off of you like it did Kelly. It'll take that big weight off. It'll
Yeah.
make you, it'll assist you in going further. Okay, well, how can I look at this moment? Because after this eclipse, now eclipses last, that energy usually lasts 6 months out. We're going to see this heavily in the outside world, in the news and stuff, but it happens to all of us individually. There's something we're releasing. There's something, nobody's ever got it all, none of us are walking around perfect, I should say. But we have a lot of assistance. The veil is thin. You got this Scorpio eclipse. Let it go.
Do you know what I think is important to point out about what you just said? And by the way, hi Ron, that was hilarious. So you're talking away. Ron's like, I just woke up. Now I know what he meant, but that was funny. Here's the thing, friends. When you come to these channels and these conversations, and I'm not saying everybody, some people know exactly what they need. They know exactly what ails them and exactly what they need to do to move to the next step. Others are literally feeling stuck. Yeah. And the more you think about how to unstuck yourself, the more stuck you feel. So
why don't we do something?
If a release ceremony is not something that you can do, if it's not something that you feel like you should be doing, then allow yourself the opportunity during the full moon to go out, stand under it, and let the power sort of wash over you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be open to it. Just look up, feel it, sense it. Just be in it. Don't say anything. Don't think anything. Just
Mhm.
stand in it and allow
Mhm.
that power to fill you up, right? Sometimes that's all it takes. You just need a little bit of a moment of clarity, a moment of checking in with yourself to be able to get the inspiration or the motivation to propel you to the next step, right?
Right.
don't
Right.
don't don't beat yourself up if it's like, oh, I don't know how to do this, it's not working, right? Be
Oh, I
gentle.
was going to say or suggest it if everybody, if anyone feels inclined to do so, type in the chat what you're releasing or what you would like to release.
It's a
You
great
know,
idea.
you could start it now and just start making, if you feel called to make a list if you have quite a few things. We're just not here alone. We have family, we have all those around us, and a lot of times that we feel lonely. Oh, look at that. Love wizards.
Right, so the focus on what you want to get out of that moment. Do you want to, package all your challenges up in a pretty little box with a nice little bow on it? Would you? Okay, so great. Will you take a part of that? Does it have to be the whole thing? Can you dice it and slice it, one step at a time? What is it that you're looking for? You're just looking for some clarity. You're looking for a sense of calm. Are you looking for, um, answers or guidance? Like, what is it that you want? You need to focus on it. And the thing is that I think sometimes when you're standing there and you're like, okay, the energy is right. I'm hearing everybody's talking about this energy. The time is now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to happen. And it's like nothing's happening. And you're like, oh, nothing's happening. And then you almost get like overwhelmed because you
Mm-hmm.
can't figure out how to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
So just be kind to yourself and allow yourself to be in the moment. And in the moment, focus on you. Just you. How are you feeling? Do you feel good today? I like what I'm wearing today. It's a nice temperature outside. It's beautiful for me. Those kinds of things. And
Mm-hmm.
allow yourself to just sort of do it in a very natural way without any extra stuff around it, like prerequisite sort of ideas. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's too much pressure sometimes.
Yeah. And a couple people,
Yep.
you can release what does not serve you. Exactly. We're releasing trauma.
Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome, Hershey.
Love it.
Wow. And somebody was saying releasing pain from the past.
Yeah.
You
Linda.
know, and that takes going in. You could even write it out, write it all out, all of that pain, make the details, fill it all in, read it, talk to it, communicate with that pain, because that pain is really part of our inner child holding on to that. It's holding on to something they were hurt. It could be our 3-year-old, our 6-year old, our 10-year-old. Every age we had something, most cases, that was not.
I got gratitude.
Oh yeah,
Look at
gratitude
this.
for
I
everything.
love that. It's like the
Gorgeous.
sparkles
Love the
firecrackers.
sparkle.
Valerie, let's
Love your
do you
colors.
have anything else for like just about the energy that we need to like watch out
Well,
for?
I just have one thing.
Okay.
Remember, if you release it, you want to write it out, burn it, however you want to go outside, talk to the moon, whatever you want to do, and you don't feel immediate relief, this is a 6-month cycle. And we're asking to release big stuff, things that you know, sometimes we can't even name what they are. Um, Thing is, after that, after you do that, after, you don't want to leave an empty space. You want to release, but what would you like? Now don't write that list out until the next day or later on that night, if Eastern time, after the eclipse passes. But what would you? I mean, what's your biggest wish? So you take your trauma and all that and release, and then replace it with your biggest wish, with something that would really just makes your heart sing. When you're excited for something and your heart's singing.
You literally just answered this question, I think.
I love it.
So Jan says, I have heard a voice in my mind, especially when I was a child. Not knowing what it was, I have ignored it and made wrong choices. I'm waiting for it to speak again, and I'm working more every day to do so.
That's beautiful, Jen. You do this in the morning and at night, and you lay there and you say, I really want to connect to my team. I started with my higher self because I know that's me, just that the part of me that's still in spirit. And show me signs. Can you give me something like, what's my next best step? That's always a perfect question.
Yeah.
Show me. And you keep doing that. You ask, or you pull a card a day like Kelly does.
I was going to say, get yourself a pendulum, Jan, and you can work with the pendulum. But here's what I want to tell you first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a release ceremony or forgiveness ceremony, and I think you need to start with yourself.
Yeah.
You need to release any guilt or anything that residual effects, we'll call it, that you may be holding on to because you ignored something that you didn't understand. That would be most the people in the world, right? We get overwhelmed and get a little freaked out, put our boundaries up when something that we don't understand tries to infiltrate into our world, right? So I would say be kind to yourself. Maybe release the any guilt or burdens that you may be carrying because you didn't listen, because maybe you weren't supposed to listen then, right?
And we are kids. We're connected.
Exactly.
We still remember spirit, and then it kind of gets pushed out of us.
Exactly.
So it's not your fault that they know that you're asking, and you want to reconnect and form a relationship. Yeah. But Kelly's absolutely right. If you're going to release something, do the blame, shame, and guilt.
Yeah.
Top three.
And I would encourage you to ask before you go to sleep. Don't scare the poop out of me. Just, if you could help me out, send me something. And
I always use the words in grace and ease.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I honestly, I usually say don't scare the crap out of me. No, I do, because I've had that a few times. I'm like, okay, that was a lot. So.
Yeah, because it's kind of odd, when you start hearing your voices talk to you, but that's you talking to you.
Yeah. You can put positive affirmations up like I did, Jan, and then have my cat eat them all. So my cat's super positive now. You can try that. I love that. That'll be one of the highlights from my channel, I'm sure. Is that my cat ate all my positive affirmations.
I remember that.
Val, let's throw some cards. We'll do sort of like a reading for the collective energy for the week. I do want to mention that tomorrow I'm back doing full moon readings.
Tomorrow? Awesome.
Tomorrow? No, I know it's not tomorrow night, but I'm back tomorrow night to do the full moon readings.
Oh, nice. Nice. I love your readings.
Well, thank you, my friends. I love yours as well.
I love this community. Let me just say that. Thank you all so much for being here, for being the light in the world. The world needs light. Needs us to remember. And that's what's going on. We're remembering who we are. We're remembering.
Yes.
We don't have to really learn anything because we've been everything. We're just remembering that. Beautiful.
Well, I thought I had something coming out. I thought I was having a coming out party, but it decided not. Not showing myself, not yet. Ron said he had a busy day, was a very positive day. Things got finished. Excellent. So I just want to mention quickly, while I have you guys, what's coming up. So Nancy Jean and I So for those of you that don't know, I do a weekly wellness reading every Monday. It's pre-recorded, and Nancy Jean and I have sort of teamed up, as it were. And so the garden that Nancy Jean has is added now to the wellness reading. So it's Nancy Jean and I doing the wellness reading. That's every Monday. So check that out, because it's great, because there's crystals involved and the chakras and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I will be back tomorrow night for full moon readings. And then on Monday, we're back for Dozen Cats Chats. It's my little podcasty type thing that I'm doing. And my niece joins me. And we'll be talking about developing our intuition from like a young person's perspective. So I'm excited as all get out to have her on the channel with me.
That is awesome. That's so awesome. I love hearing, I used to work in restaurants right before COVID, and I always worked with everybody who was younger than me. I was the mom, and I miss that. That's one thing I do miss, is being around, watching them grow, and they're so connected. They're born connected. You want me to read my little card? And then
you go for it, Val. I'm just pulling my last one here.
The first one I got was, "It's all in divine order. Allow." So this is spirit talking us. Everything is unfolding in the perfect time. We're not behind. We're not lost. We're just remembering. And there is a divine and perfect order to all of life. Just look to nature to see how everything has its right time and place. That was what Kelly was saying about nature. And then the other one I got was, the how is in the now.
Wow, that's cool. I love that card. It's pretty.
Yeah. So that's talking about what has your intuition been trying to tell you. And that's a good idea too. You could do automatic writing.
Yes.
Get that stuff out. Get your, a lot of times people can't really hear spirit well. It comes out in writing, or it comes out in song lyrics. It's all different ways. Spirit has no limits.
Everyone's going to be looking up that song.
Yeah.
It's salty, friends. It's a little salty song.
It's Hershey's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Hershey. Are you done, love?
Yes.
Okay.
I am. I thought that was pretty much to the point.
So I got the Page of Water to start with, or the Page of Cups, right? We are feeling like uber super sensitive right now.
Yes.
Almost like, when you get a sunburn and it's like, oh my God, the shirt hurt my arm. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that kind of feeling. So when we feel that, we have to be what? We have to be kind and understanding with ourselves. We have to use our intuition and that wisdom that we all have within us. And we have to be open-hearted. Open to possibilities, open to ideas, open to alternate routes, alternate things. You know what I mean? Don't be focused on one particular thing. Be a little more broad-minded, I want to say. Following that, we have the Six of Fire, the Six of Wands. This is self-esteem. It's recognition. It's success. It's the, woohoo, I did it! The legally blonde moment, right? Following that, we have the Queen of Wands.
Oh.
Now, the Queen of Wands, she is in it to win it. She is intelligent. She's exuberant. She is a force to be reckoned with. And she wants to shine her light as brightly as she can. And she loves it when that inspires others to do the same. Right now, on the bottom of the deck, right now, how we're feeling, sleepless nights, negativity, because we're anticipating like this big bad energy, right? Nothing to be afraid of if you work with it. Don't resist it. Work with it.
Yes.
You have the rainbow card showing up. It says connect to spirit in nature.
That's so beautiful.
You have the spirit guardian of autumn, letting go.
Yes.
Because in case you didn't hear when I said it before. So those two things. And then I pulled a postcard from Spirit, and that says this. And by the way, look it on the front, if you can see that, it's a beautiful sort of like dragon
Yes,
wings, beautiful, very mystical kind of creature.
I love dragons.
Here's you. There is only one you, and you have a unique path and a special purpose. You're supposed to have specific experiences in this world and meet certain people. But then it is up to you how you live, how awake you choose to be, and how willing you are to grow and strip away what's false. Don't compare yourself to others. It's easy to think a person is happier just because their outside looks good according to society's standards. But you can't know everyone's internal experiences. Compare yourself only to your past self. See how far you've come. Don't be distracted by what others are doing or accomplishing. Stay focused on what inspires you. That's how you get successful and find happiness. Want what you have now, not what someone else has.
Mm,
We love you immensely and know your journey ahead is sparkling with miracles and wondrous things.
yeah.
Trust. Loving you forever and ever.
Ah, I love it. So
I
that is that spirit talking to us.
that
It's
is spirit talk.
all in divine order. Allow, and the how is in the now. I picked one of the sage goddess from this chakra deck, and
Mhm.
it was psychic awakening. You have the ability to awaken to new and mysterious forms of reality. Think astral travel, visions and dreams, night magic. Think shadow, think the unknown and faith. Think new beginnings and new dreams. They're all waiting for you to discover and unleash them. What will you do with the new awareness that wants to come through you? Consider the many ways that you can help and heal others by becoming the oracle you are meant to be.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, we're all, and it's just we're remembering. These things are coming in. Let it come in slow, but take those moments and make them yours in the best way you can. Not every moment's going to be perfect, but what do you think, Kelly? It could be it.
No, I mean, I think that's beautiful. I mean, that's
Mhm.
it in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
Take it as it comes, work with it, don't resist it, right? We're here to thrive, not just to survive. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I think that if we don't, if we try to release a little bit of control, allowing ourselves to be more like fluid with it, that that helps. And how I do that, how I get a little more fluid, is by making sure that I remind myself at every opportunity of the blessings and the joy and the love that are around me, that I have with me, in me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
um so those little moments that we were talking about before, those are why those moments are so important, because they keep that energy sort of present in your mind, right? That level of contentment. If you have that level of contentment, no matter what is is sort of headed for you, or that you will find along your journey, I think that you can navigate it from a much better sort of place, because you're not already tense. You're not already wound up.
Right. That makes a lot of sense because we do need to relax. And, this energy might feel tense. Get up and dance, move, do some breathing exercises really help. As deep breaths, hug your inner child, love yourself. And that's what my channel, I was guided to do my channel. The guides wanted me to help people to remember how to love and accept themselves.
Absolutely.
And I know it's not easy, but we're here for this. It took me years. It took me years to understand and that I wasn't crazy. I wasn't hearing things. You know,
Yep.
it, it's just a matter of trust. That's the biggest thing.
I
trust
mean,
you.
see, now I say that I am crazy, but I mean, if you can't beat them,
Fancy.
join them. That's what I say. But I mean, I say it in a good way, like, because why
Yeah.
not? Um, I just want to take a moment and say hi to Thomas Tiro your way. He was on with Ali from Heart and Soul Connected, and I really appreciate what you said, Thomas. That was very kind. So thank you, my friend. Many
Mm-hmm.
blessings to you. He gave me such a nice shout out, which was very nice. Very much
Aw.
appreciated. Um, my friend Valerie, what's coming up for you that you would like the people to know about if they are trying
Well,
to find you, darling?
you're trying to find me. I have my channel is the Illumination Portal. I do astrology readings if you email me. In fact, why don't I do a little contest? Anyone who emails me with the word moon in it, I'll pick out of all of you. I did that on Sun Psychic Jean's channel the other day, and it really went well.
Nice.
Um, I would love to help anybody. My readings are very affordable. I want people to have a clear picture of the next few months because it really helps if you know these things are going on, but they're gonna get better. It's just a matter of letting the energies work themselves through. It's all, and every chart's individual because we're individuals.
Right.
But I would love to read for you. On Friday, I have a 3 o'clock. I'm with the Crone Zone at 3 o'clock doing the eclipse, talking about the Scorpio eclipse, and then at 9 o'clock on my channel, Diana Bowles and I are going to do the unfolding. It's this kind of series we have going on with the moons and the astrology, and we get into it a little bit more deeper. If you'd like to come and visit, I would love to have you. The Crown Zone would
All right,
love to
friend.
have you.
Absolutely. Listen, now you've heard it here first, folks. So
Ron.
go check out Valerie on her channel if you're not already subscribed. Show her some love. She's an awesome part of this community, and we wouldn't understand this energy without you. So we appreciate you popping in today for the visit. As I said, I will be back tomorrow night, I think at 8 p.m. to do the full moon readings. Friday, I'm on with Longman Tarot. He's doing a coronation sort of special. King Charles coronation is what I'm referring to for those of you that follow the royal family. And then on Monday, I'm back with my niece at 7 p.m. and I'm very excited about that. So have yourself a good week. We will see you when we see you next. We wish you many blessings and thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah. Love you.
Bye, everybody. Blessings.
Bye.